The forest was quiet that day. Too quiet, according to the man who found it. A rusted old camera, half buried beneath a pile of leaves, wrapped in what looked like a torn piece of raincoat. It didn't belong there. Not this deep in the Catskills. It had been raining the week before, and something about the earth shifting must have pulled it closer to the surface. That, or someone wanted it found. The hiker who discovered it turned it in to park authorities, assuming it was trash. But when investigators cracked it open, they found an undeveloped roll of film, 14 exposures. One of them would change everything. They sent it to a photo lab in Albany. The film was brittle, so old the technician almost didn't risk developing it. But they did. And that's when the story of Erica Dalton came back to life. 14 years earlier, in 2009, Erica was just another college junior heading out on a solo camping trip. Before her fall semester started, she was majoring in environmental science at SUNY Geneseo. Smart, curious, always hiking, always with her camera. She'd told her roommate she was heading upstate for a long weekend, a chance to unplug before the chaos of school. But when Monday came and she didn't return, nobody thought much of it. Not at first. Tuesday came, then Wednesday. Her professors noticed. Her parents couldn't reach her. And by Thursday, a missing person report was filed. State police scoured the region. Helicopters, dogs, volunteers. For 2 weeks they searched, focusing on the campsite she'd mentioned in passing. They found a fire pit, a tarp, and one of her hiking boots lodged in the mud near a ravine. But that was it. Erica Dalton was gone. No body, no camera, no clear sign of struggle. The case went cold. Her name faded from news cycles. Another unsolved wilderness disappearance. Until now. The photos developed from the roll started out like you'd expect. Lush forest shots, mossy rocks, the corner of her tent, a blurry selfie. Timestamps aligned with her last known day alive. But then came frame 11. It wasn't like the others. This one was taken at night. Flash on. The photo showed Erica's face, eyes wide, mouth slightly open. But she wasn't holding the camera. She was looking directly at it, and behind her, barely visible in the shadows, was a silhouette, tall, still, watching. Frame 12 was worse. It was completely black. At first glance, just an accidental photo, maybe the lens covered by her hand or snapped inside a bag. But under forensic enhancement, you could see something faint in the corner. A reflection, 2 pinpricks of light, eyes. Frame 13 was nothing but blur, movement, a smear of branches, and what looked like the side of Erica's boot. Analysts believed it was taken during a struggle or a frantic escape attempt. Whatever happened in those final moments, the sequence of photos captured it in chilling fragments. And then came the final image, frame 14, the last photo on the roll. It wasn't of Erica. It wasn't of the woods. It was of a ceiling, wooden beams, a single dangling light bulb. But the angle was strange, crooked, like the camera had been dropped on its side. And on the floor, just at the edge of the frame, was something unmistakable, a hand, fingers curled slightly, pale, still. The photo was time-stamped, 2 full days after Erica's last known activity. But here's where it gets even stranger. The camera model she used, an old Canon SureShot, didn't have a self-timer, and the photo was taken several feet from the ground, which means someone else had to take it. So who took the final picture? And why did they leave the camera behind? That's when investigators reopened the Dalton file. After 14 years of silence, there was new evidence, and the public was suddenly paying attention again. Reddit threads exploded. Amateur sleuths flooded forums with theories. And one detail kept surfacing, something Erica's mother had said in a local interview back in 2010. She had this strange dream the week before she left, her mom recalled. She told me it felt like someone was watching her, following her. She joked it was probably just stress, but the way she said it, it didn't sound like a joke. Was it paranoia? A coincidence? Or did Erica already have a feeling something wasn't right? When forensic teams examined the area where the camera was found, they turned up more than they expected. Not far from the site, buried under rotted leaves and collapsed foliage, they found remnants of an old structure. Concrete footings, rusted hinges, the kind of debris left behind when cabins are dismantled and forgotten. Locals later confirmed the area once had a hunting outpost, abandoned in the early 90s after a fire. It was never fully cleared, just swallowed by the forest over time. Investigators now believe Erica may have stumbled onto it, or into it, and if that final photo is to be believed, she might have been held there, even briefly. But why didn't anyone find it during the initial search? Simple answer: they didn't know to look that far east. The coordinates embedded in the film's metadata showed that photo 14 was taken nearly 2 miles from her last known location, deeper than search teams ever went. So the next question is, why was the camera buried? This is where the theories get darker. Some believe the camera was intentionally planted, that whoever was involved wanted the photos found, just not immediately. The condition of the plastic wrap, the way the leaves covered it, but hadn't fully degraded it. Some experts say it couldn't have been there more than a year or two, meaning it may have been moved closer to the surface on purpose. A message, a clue, or a warning. And there's one more layer that still haunts the case. Out of the 14 photos, only 13 are accessible. Frame number 9 is missing. Lab records show it exists on the roll, sandwiched between 2 daylight shots of the forest. But when scanned, it came out blank. No data, as if it had been deliberately overexposed or tampered with. The technician even rescanned the film, thinking it was a glitch, but the result was the same every time: nothing. That photo, whatever it was, no longer exists. So now we're left with a puzzle missing its most important piece. Was Erica taken? Did she fall and someone find her later? Was the camera recovered and repurposed before being buried again? No one knows. But what they do know is this: that final photo wasn't taken by Erica, and it wasn't meant to be found by accident. 14 years of silence, 1 roll of film, and just enough of a trail to make you question what else is out there, buried under leaves, lost in time, waiting to surface. Because the forest doesn't forget, it just waits.